Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Sanmata is the love pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining in the morning Japa call. So let us take some inspiration from this Sri Namamrita. Let me share 1 second. If anybody likes to read this highlighted one, please go ahead and read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. Shall I read, Prabhuji? The Maha Mantra is a prayer for engagement in the service of the spiritual energy. Rama and Krishna are names of God, and Hare is the energy of God. So, when we chant the Maha Mantra, we address God together with His energy. This energy is of two kinds, the spiritual and the material. At present, we are in the clutches of the material energy. Therefore, we pray to Krishna that he may kindly deliver us from the service of the material energy and accept us into the service of the spiritual energy. That is our whole philosophy. Hare Krishna means, O energy of God, O God Krishna, please engage me in your service. It is our nature to render service. Somehow or other, we have come to the service of material things. But when the service is transformed into the service of the spiritual energy, then our life is perfect. The science of self-realization.
Nice. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
This is written in Srila Prabhupada in one of the book, The Science of Self-Realization. See how he is explaining the Maha Mantra, engaging our senses with the pleasure of the Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So chanting the holy names of the Lord means Krishna, Radharani, Krishna, Rama, please engage me in your service. So that spiritual energy is eternal. That means we are eternally situated. When we are doing chanting means we are eternally situated. It is another meaning. We are in the spiritual energy. We chant the holy names of the Lord. So much potency is there. We may not realize at this point, but that is the ultimate benediction we have. Kali Kalena Namarupa Krishna Avatara. Krishna appeared in this holy name appeared in this Kali Yuga as a holy name. Rare Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalo Nasteva Gatiranya. There is no other way. Chant the holy names of the Lord. Thank you. Let us begin with Mangalacharana prayer and we'll go to readings. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshkarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasa Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela entitled as Adi Leela chapter 7 entitled as Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Please, you all have to memorize that verse. Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shiktikam. You can find in search Google also. Pancha Tattva prayer. Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Everything Bhakti, Bhakta, Bhakta. Repeated 5 times. So much potency in there in the Bhakti. So we'll begin with Mataji's. Yeah. Please go ahead, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Am I audible?
Yes, clear.
Dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what have you said is all true. Only one who is favored by fortune attains love of Godhead. Purport. One who is actually very fortunate can begin Krishna consciousness as stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Srila Rupa Goswami. Brahmanda Bhramite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. CC Madhya Leela 19.151. There are millions of living entities who have become conditioned by the laws of material nature, and they are wandering throughout the planetary systems of this universe in different bodily forms. Among them, one who is fortunate meets a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna and comes to understand the meaning of devotional service. By discharging devotional service under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master or acharya, he develops love of Godhead. One whose love of Godhead, Krishna Prema, is awakened and who thus becomes a devotee of the inconceivable Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be considered extremely fortunate. The Mayavadi sannyasis admitted this fact to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is not easy for one to become a Krishna conscious person, but by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it can be possible, as will be proven in the course of this narration. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mother. Yeah, it's very rare to get the Bhakti Lata Bija. Yes. Samyukta Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dear sir, there is no objection to your being a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Everyone is satisfied with this. But why do you avoid discussion on the Vedanta Sutra? What is the fault in it? Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments in this connection. Mayavadi sannyasis accept that the commentary by Sri Shankaracharya known as Shariraka Bhashya gives the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra. In other words, Mayavadi sannyasis accept the meanings expressed in the explanations of the Vedanta Sutra by Shankaracharya, which are based on monism. Thus, they explain the Vedanta Sutra, the Upanishads, and all such Vedic literatures in their own impersonal way. The great Mayavadi sannyasis Sadananda Yogendra has written a book known as Vedanta Sara, in which he writes Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam Tat Upakarini Shariraka Sutradini cha. According to Sadananda Yogendra, the Vedanta Sutra and Upanishads as presented by Sri Shankaracharya in his Shariraka Bhashya commentary are the only sources of Vedic evidence. Actually, however, Vedanta refers to the essence of Vedic knowledge, and it is not a fact that there is nothing more than the Shankaracharya's Shariraka Bhashya. There are other Vedanta commentaries written by Vaishnavacharyas, none of whom follow Sri Shankaracharya or accept the imaginative commentary of his school. Their commentaries are based on the philosophy of duality. Monist philosophers like Shankaracharya and his followers want to establish that God and the living entity are one, and instead of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they present themselves as God. They want to be worshipped as God by others. Such persons do not accept the philosophers of the Vaishnava Acharyas, which are known as Sudhavaita, purified monism, Shuddha, Shuddhadvaita,
Shuddhadvaita.
Shuddhadvaita.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Purified monism, Shuddhadvaita, purified dualism, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, specific monism, Dvaita, Dvaita, monism and dualism, and Achintya, Bheda, Vedha, inconceivable oneness and difference. Mayavadis do not discuss these philosophies, for they are firmly convinced of their own philosophy of Keval Advaita, exclusive monism. Accepting this system of philosophy as the pure understanding of the Vedanta Sutra, they believe that Krishna has a body made of material elements and that the activities of loving service to Krishna are sentimentality. They are known as Mayavadis because, according to their opinion, Krishna has a body made of Maya and the loving service of the Lord executed by devotees is also Maya. They consider such devotional service to be an accept of fruitive activities, karma kanda. According to their view, bhakti consists of mental speculation or sometimes meditation. This is the difference between the Mayavadi and Vaishnava philosophies. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you. Krishna is a body made up of Maya, and the loving service of the Lord executed by devotees also Maya. They consider such devotional services to be an aspect of fruitive activities, karma kanda. According to their view, bhakti consists of mental speculation or sometimes meditation. This is the difference between the Mayavadi and Vaishnava philosophy. they won't understand personal form of Krishna. Okay. Since Sandhya Mata is in reading mode, hearing mode, Lavanya, go ahead and kindly read this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You can go ahead, Prabhu. Yes, I asked Lavanya, but also okay. You can go ahead and read.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Read it, Prabhu.
Okay. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After hearing on Mayavadi sannyasis speak in that way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled slightly and said, "My dear sirs, if you don't mind, I can say something to you regarding the Vedanta philosophy." Purport: the Mayavadi sannyasis, appreciating Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, inquired from him why we did not discuss Vedanta philosophy. Actually, however, the entire system of Vaishnava activities is based on Vedanta philosophy. Vaishnavas do not neglect Vedanta, but they do not care to understand the Vedanta on the basis of Shariraka Bhasya commentary. Therefore, to clarify this situation, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with the permission of Mayavadi sannyasis, wanted to speak regarding the Vedanta philosophy. The Vaishnavas are by far the great philosophers in the world, and the greatest among them was Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu, whose philosophy was again presented less than 400 years later by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. Therefore, one must know very well that Vaishnava philosophers are not sentimentalists, are what is this, Prabhuji? Yeah. Now I can see. Are cheap devotees like Sahajiyas. All the Vaishnava acharyas were vastly learned scholars who understood the Vedanta philosophy fully. For unless one knows Vedanta philosophy, he cannot be an acharya. To be accepted as an acharya, Indian transcendentalists who follow the Vedic principles, one must become vastly learned scholar in the Vedanta philosophy, either by studying it or by hearing it.
So we'll give it to other devotees. Thank you, Prabhu. Kinchan Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Chandramail Prabhu, please continue from
Sure. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhakti develops in Persians of Vedanta philosophy. This is situated in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 12th sloka. Shraddhana Munayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam Bhukta Sruta Bhaktya. Yeah, Bhaktya. The words Bhakta Shruta Bhrutya in this verse are very important, but they indicate that Bhakti must be based upon the philosophy of Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. Srila Rupa Goswami said, Shruti Smruti Purana Adi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikanti Ki Harir Bhaktir Utpataya Vaiva Kalpate. Devotional service performed without reference to the Vedas, Puranas, Pancharatas, etc. must be considered sentimentalism, and it causes nothing but disturbance to society. There are different grades of Vaishnavas, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. But to be a Madhyama Adhikari preacher, one must be a learned scholar in the Vedanta Sutra and other Vedic literatures, because when Bhakti Yoga develops on the basis of Vedanta philosophy, it is factual and steady. In this connection, we may quote the translation and purport on the verse mentioned above. The Bhagavad Gita first, Bhagavatam Prabhu or Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam first canto and second chapter, 12th translation. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The seriously inquisitive student of says, well equipped with the knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has learned from the Vedanta Shruti. Purport. The absolute truth is realized in full by the process of devotional service of the service to the Lord Vasudeva, or the personality of Godhead, who is the full-fledged absolute truth. Brahman is his transcendental bodily effulgence, and Paramatma is his partial representation. As such, Brahman and Paramatma realization of the absolute truth is but a partial realization. There are four different types of human beings: the karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, and the devotees. The karmis are materialistics, whereas the other three are transcendental. The first transcendentalists are the devotees who have realized the Supreme Person. The second class transcendentalists are those who have partially realized the plenary portion of the absolute person. And the third class transcendentalists are those who have barely realized the spiritual focus on the absolute person. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literatures, and the Supreme Person is realized by devotional service which is backed by full knowledge and detachment from material association. We have already discussed the point that devotional service is followed by the knowledge and detachment from material association. As Brahman and Paramatma realization are imperfect realizations of the absolute truth. So the means of realization, realizing Brahmin and Paramatma, that is the path of jnana and yoga, are also imperfect means of realizing the absolute truth. Devotional service, which is based on the foreground of full knowledge, combined with the detachment from material association, and which is fixed by dint of the oral reception of the Vedanta Shruti, is the only perfect method by which the seriously inquisitive student can realize the absolute truth. Devotional service is not, therefore, mean for the less intelligent class of transcendentalists.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Devotional service is not therefore meant for the less intelligent class of transcendentalists. Since then we are intelligent. When we take up Krishna consciousness means we are intelligent. Nice. Who else there? Let me see. Aryan Prabhu or Praveen Prabhu, who are there? Please read.
Hare
them
Krishna,
in
Prabhu.
Please
There are
continue.
three
From
classes of devotees, namely first, second, and third class. The third class devotees are the neophytes who have no knowledge and are not detached from material association but were simply attracted by the preliminary process of worshipping the deity in the temple are called material devotees. Material devotees are more attached to material benefit than transcendental profit. Therefore, one has to make definite progress from the position of material devotional service to the second class devotional position. In the second class position, the devotee can see four principles. In the devotional line, namely the personality of Godhead, his devotee, the ignorant and the envious, one has to raise himself at least to the stage of a second class devotee and thus becoming eligible to know the absolute truth. A third class devotee, therefore, has to receive the instructions of devotional service from the authoritative sources of Bhagavata.
Bhagavad.
The number one Bhagavata is the established personality of God, devotee, and the other Bhagavata is the message of Godhead. The third class devotee therefore has to go to the personality of devotee in order to learn the instruction or devotional service. Such a personality of devotee is not a professional man who earns his livelihood by the business of the Bhagavatam. Such a devotee must be representative of Sukadeva Goswami like Sutta Goswami and must preach the cult of devotional service for the all-around benefit of all people. A neophyte devotee has very little taste for hearing from the authorities. Such a neophyte devotee makes a show of hearing from the professional man to satisfy his senses. This sort of hearing and chanting has spoiled the whole thing, so one should be very careful about the faulty process. The holy message of Godhead as inculcated in the Bhagavad Gita or in Srimad Bhagavatam are undoubtedly transcendental subjects. But even though they are so, such transcendental matters are not to be received on the professional man who spoils them as a serpent spoils milk simply by touch of his tongue. Hare Krishna.
Complete this. Yeah.
Okay, Guruji.
Uh,
A sincere devotee must therefore be prepared to hear the Vedic literature like the Upanishad Vedanta Sutra and other literatures left by the previous authorities or Goswamis for the benefit of his progress. Without hearing such literatures, one cannot make actual progress. And without hearing and following the instructions, the show of devotional service become worthless and therefore a sort of disturbance in the path of devotional service. Unless, therefore, unless, devotional service is established on the principle of Shruti, Smriti, Purana, and Panchatrata authorities, the make show of devotional service should at once be rejected. An unauthorized devotee should never be recognized as a pure devotee. By assimilating of such messages from the Vedic literature, one can see the all-pervading localized aspect of the personality Godhead is oneself constantly. This is called samadhi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So, this devotional service is established on the principles of Shruti, Smriti, Purana, and Pancharatra authorities. Pancharatra means deity worship, Purana, Vedic knowledge, Shruti, Smriti, hearing, remembering of all these literature, and then you will be able to understand the knowledge and practice it.
What is
Okay.
Pancharatra authorities, Prabhu?
Pancharatrika Vidhi, deity worship, Prabhu.
Okay.
Narada Muni given the instructions how to perform worship, deity worship.
Okay.
Pancharatrika Vidhi, Narada Pancharatrika Vidhi. In 5 nights, he has given this knowledge. Okay. Who else there? Let me see.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Raju Prabhu.
Can I
Who
read?
Raju sir? You have
Yeah,
explained it.
Prabhu. I'm in kitchen, Prabhuji. I logged in my laptop and as well as my phone. I'm cooking.
That's why I'm telling you, you got mystic power to expand yourself. Go ahead, read.
Translation. Hearing this, the Mayavadi sannyasis became somewhat humble and addressed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Narayana himself, who they all agreed he was. Purport. Mayavadi sannyasis address each other as Narayana. Whenever they see another sannyasi, they offer him respect by calling Om Namo Narayana. First offer my respect unto you, Narayana. Although they know perfectly what kind of Narayana is. Narayana has 4 hands, but although they are puffed up with the idea of being Narayana, they cannot exhibit more than 2. Since their philosophy declares that Narayana and ordinary human being are on the same level, they sometimes use the term Daridra Narayana, poor Narayana, which was invented by so-called Swami who did not know anything about Vedanta philosophy. Therefore, although all the Mayavadi sannyasis who called themselves Narayana were actually unaware of the position of Narayana. Due to their austerities, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enabled them to understand him to be Narayana himself. Lord Chaitanya is certainly the supreme personality of Godhead, Narayana appearing as a devotee of Narayana. And thus, Mayavadi sannyasis, understanding that he was directly Narayana himself, whereas they were false, puppet of Narayanas, spoke to him as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anya, you want to read? Hare Krishna. Okay, internet problem. Okay. Let me read this one. 104. I want to read this one. Tomara vachana suni judaya shravana, tomara madhuri deki judaya nayana. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they said, to tell you the truth, we are greatly pleased to hear your words. And furthermore, your bodily features are so pleasing that we feel extraordinary satisfaction in seeing you. Mayavadis are getting happiness by seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purport. In the Shastras, it is said, अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि ना भावेत ग्राह्यम इंद्रियै सेवोन्मुखे हि जिह्वादौ स्वयं एव स्फुरति आदः. With one's materially contaminated senses, one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His name, form, qualities, or paraphernalia. But if one renders service unto Him, the Lord reveals Himself. Bhaktirasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. One of the important verse actually. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi sevon mukhehi jihvadau swayam eva spurati adaha. Beautiful verse. Here one can see the effect of the Mayavadi sannyasis service toward Narayana, because the Mayavadis offered a little respect to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and because they were pious and actually followed the austere rules and regulations of sannyasa, they had some understanding of Vedanta philosophy. And by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they could appreciate that he was none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is endowed with all six opulences. One of these opulences is beauty. By his extraordinarily beautiful bodily features, the Mayavadi sannyasis recognized Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Narayana himself. He was not a partial Narayana like the Daridra Narayanas invented by so-called sannyasis. Let us read one or two and then we'll go to Shloka's dissertation. Anybody likes to read? Hare Krishna. Mataji's Prabhuji's.
I can read Prabhuji. Translation. Dear sir, by your influence, our minds are greatly satisfied and we believe that your words will never be unreasonable. Therefore, you may speak on the Vedanta Sutra purport. In this verse, the words Tomara Prabhave, your influence, are very important. Unless one is spiritually advanced, he cannot influence an audience. Bhakti Vinod Thakura has sung Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Unless one associates with pure devotee, he cannot be influenced to understand devotional service. These Mayavadi sannyasis were fortunate enough to meet the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of a devotee, and certainly they were greatly influenced by the Lord. They knew that since a perfectly advanced spiritualist never says anything false, all his words are reasonable and agree with the Vedic version, a highly realized person never says anything that has no meaning. Mayavadi philosophers claim to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this has no meaning. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never uttered such nonsense. The Mayavadi sannyasis were convinced about his personality, and therefore they wanted to hear the purport of Vedanta philosophy from him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's beautiful. This is in the one of the song actually. Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Unless one associates with a pure devotee, cannot be influenced to understand devotion service. Period. That's it. Devotee association. Yeah. We'll go to one more verse and we'll for reading today. Okay. It's a big purpose. We'll read tomorrow then. Okay. This one we'll read tomorrow. From this one. Let me put it. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila. Let us go to our sloka recitations. I'll start for my. Let me start. One second. Share slide mode. Okay. Yeah. 7.5. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jivabhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Besides this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. 7.14. Daivihesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. 7.19 Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. 8.5 Antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyastra samshayaha. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once transcends, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. 8.16 Abrahma bhuvanarloka punaravartinorjuna mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. 9.2 Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is a perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. 9.4 Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina astani sarva bhutani nachaham tesha avastitaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. 9.14 Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drudhavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. 9.25 Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitrin vrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyaji no pimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. 9.26 Patram pushvam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayaschati tadaham bhaktya upagrutam asnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. 9.27 Yat karoshi yadasnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. 9.29 Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi teteshu chapyaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend. He is in me, and I am also a friend to him. 10.8 Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. 10.10 Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogantam yena mam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So anybody likes to do that?
Can I do once?
Yeah.
Just a second. I'll
You
open.
have to, you have to do slowly, Mataji.
Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhu.
No. She is a She want to. She will do
Express.
in express. Sloka express. Continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji's darshanam. Bhagavad Gita 7.5. अपरेमितस्वन्यां प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूतां महाबाहो येदं धार्यते जगत्. Translation. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Translation. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross.
Internet fluctuation.
Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Translation. After many births and deaths, he who is actually knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such great soul is very rare. Bhagavad Gita 8.5. Antakale cha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nasyastra samshaya. Translation. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Bhagavad Gita 8.16. Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartinojuna mamupetya kaunta.
Hare Krishna.
But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Bhagavad Gita 9.2. Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttam Pratyakshavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartumavyayam. Translation. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Maya tadam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina matsani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavastita. Translation. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam.
Actually, Navani, your internet is breaking in between. Sit outside and reside, no? Wherever the network signal is good.
Now is it okay?
In between, we are missing translations and some of the verses. Due to internet, I know, but it's okay. Continue. Which one you read? Maya Tatam. You can do that again.
Maya Tatam. Okay. 9.14. Now is it audible or okay?
Yes. Okay.
Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Mayatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavastita. Translation. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Bhagavad Gita 9.40. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridhavrata namasyantasya mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Translation. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Bhagavad Gita 9.25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti matyajino pimam. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestor go to the ancestors. Those who worship the ghost and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Bhagavad Gita 9.26. पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्युपाहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मना. Translation: If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I'll accept it. Bhagavad Gita 9.27. Yat karoshi yat ashnashi yas juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpanam. Translation: Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Translation: Bhagavad Gita 9.29. समोहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेषोऽस्ति न प्रिया ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम्. Translation: I envy no one, nor am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend.
Is a friend is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Okay. Again.
Samanvita. Translation: I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tehan tatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Somehow internet చూసుకోగల ఇక్కడ సిగ్నల్ మంచిగా ఉన్న దగ్గర కూర్చొని చేయి మధ్య మధ్యలో బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, anybody likes to do Mataji's or Prabhuji's? Please go ahead and start 7.5 onwards. Let me share again. Yeah.
Prabhuji, if you can bear my voice, I can do it.
Mataji, I don't know. Take care of yourself, Mataji. I mean, your voice is really changed because of sickness. It's okay. It's up to you, Mataji.
If nobody is doing, I will do, Prabhuji, because we have time.
Mataji?
If nobody is doing, I can do, Prabhuji, because we have time.
Right.
In quote, Prabhuji, I think reading out now is not helping us memorize. Lavanya Mataji or you, if you can just help us repeat, it will probably help us memorize. Repeat చేద్దాం ప్రభుజీ 10 minutes లేకపోతే మీరు చెప్పండి మేము రిపీట్ చేస్తాము. ఆ మెమరైజ్ అవ్వట్లేదు ఒకళ్ళు చెప్తుంటే జస్ట్
ఇది యాక్చువల్లీ ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ Mataji, these middle chapters and these are the regularly, I mean very frequently quoted only, but sometimes
because I'm trying to I'm trying to close my eyes and trying to tell the next line, it's not coming. Ante it's still not gone into the memory. So can you please read out and we'll repeat behind you.
Acha atla cheddam anta.
It will be beneficial for everybody who is on the call appudu.
అట్లా చేద్దాం Mataji. It takes time. అట్లా రెండు సార్లు వేసినా చాలు మనకు. ఓకే,
అదే ఇప్పుడు 10 minutes ఉంది, మీరు చేయండి, మేము రిపీట్ చేస్తాం.
Yeah. We'll do that way. Okay, Mataji, sure. So yeah. ఎట్లా అట్లా 1 line once, 2 lines second time and 4
అందరూ
lines.
ఏమంటారు? What is others opinion?
Others I don't know. Raju Prabhu, Samyukta Mataji, Akinchan Prabhu.
Let's do it, Prabhuji. Let's do it. No problem.
Yeah, let us do once. Okay. Yeah, 7.5. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat. Complete verse. Apareyam itasvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat.
Apareyam
अपरेयं
itasvanyam
तस्वन्यं प्रकृतिं
prakritim
विद्धि मे
vidhi me
परां
param जीवभूतं
जीवभूति
महाबाहो
महाबाहो
ययेदं
ययेदं
धार्यते
धार्यते
जगत्.
जगत्.
Repeat after me this translation also. Besides this,
Besides
Besides
these,
these,
O mighty armed Arjuna,
O mighty
O
armed
mighty
Arjuna,
armed Arjuna,
there is another superior energy of mind
there is another
there is
superior
another
energy of mind
which comprises the living entities
which comprises
which
the living
comprises
entities
entities
who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
who are
who are
exploiting the
exploiting the
resources of
resources of
this
this material
material
inferior
inferior
nature.
nature.
7.14 Daivihesha Gunamayi
Daivihesha gunamayi
Mama Maya Duratyaya
mama maya
Maya
duratyaya
Duratyaya
Am Evaye Prapadyante
Mameva
Mameva
prapadyante
Prapadyante
Ayametam Tarantite
mayam etam tarantite.
Daivihesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya
Daivihesha
Daivihesha
gunamayi mama
Gunamayi
maya duratyaya
Duratyaya
Mam Evaye Prapadyante Mayametam Tarantite.
mameva prapadyante mayam etam tarantite.
Complete verse. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam evaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite.
Daivihesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva prapadyante mayam etam tarantite.
Yeah, repeat after me. This is a divine energy of mind
This
This
divine
divine
energy of
energy of
mind
mind
consisting of three modes of material nature
consisting of
consisting
three
of the
modes of
three modes of
material
material
nature
nature
is difficult to overcome.
is
is
difficult to
difficult to
overcome.
overcome.
But those
But
But
those
those
who have surrendered unto me
who have
who
surrendered
have
unto
surrendered
me
unto me
can easily cross beyond it.
can
can
easily
easily
cross
cross
beyond
beyond
it.
7.19 Bahunam Janmanamante
Bahunam
Bahunam
Janmanamante
Janmanamante
Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate
Jnanavan Mam
Mam
Prapadyate
Prapadyate
Vasudeva Sarvamiti
Vasudeva
Vasudeva
Sarvamiti
Sarvamiti
Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha
Samahatma
Samahatma
Sudurlabha
Sudurlabha
Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate
Bahunam
Bahunam
Janmanamante
Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam
Jnanavam
Prapadyate
Prapadyate
Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha.
Vasudevam
Vasudeva
Sarvamiti
Sarvamiti Samahatma
Samahatma
Sudurlabha.
Sudurlabha.
Yeah, complete verse. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha.
Bahunam
Bahunam
Janmanamante
Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam
Jnanavam
Prapadyate
Prapadyate
Vasudeva
Vasudeva
Sarvamiti
Sarvamiti
Samahatma Sudurlabha.
Samahatma.
Yeah, repeat after me this translation. After many births and deaths,
After many births and
deaths,
deaths,
he who is actually in knowledge
he who is
he who is
actually in
actually in
knowledge
knowledge
surrenders unto me,
surrenders
surrenders
unto
unto
me,
me,
knowing me to be the cause of all causes
knowing me
knowing
to
me
be the
to
cause of
be the
all
cause of
causes
all
and
causes
all that is.
and
and
all
all
that is.
that is.
Such a great soul is very rare.
Such a
Such a
great soul
great
is
soul
very
is
rare.
very rare.
Yeah, thank you. Now, 8th chapter. 8th chapter, 2 verses there. 8.5. Antakale cha mam eva
Antakale
Antakale cha
Chamaneva
mameva
smaran muktva kalevaram
smaran
Smaran
muktva kalevaram
Kalevaram
yap prayati samadbhavam
yaprayati
Yaprayati
samadbhavam
Samadbhavam
yati nastyastra samshayaha.
yati
Yati
nastyatra
Nastatra
samshayaha.
Samsayaha.
Antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram
Antakaale kalevaram
यप्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः
yaprayati
samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah.
The complete verse. Antakale cha mamyeva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah.
Aldakale cha mameva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah.
Yes, repeat after me. Yes. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. కృష్ణుడు భుజం దట్టి మన తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుకుంటే కృష్ణుడు భుజం దట్టి చెప్తున్నాడు వర్స్. ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు చూడండి, అద్భుతమైన వర్స్. అంతకాలే చమావేవ స్మరణముక్త కలేవ యప్రయాతి సమద్భావం యాతి నాస్త్యస్త్ర సంశయ. Remembering how to see, Prabhupada says, right, frequently writes these purports. This entire life is preparation. Death is an examination. At the time of death, if you remember Krishna, that's it. Yat gatva nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. When we are going back home, back to God, that's it. There is no question of suffering, repeated birth and death. So now this is another beautiful verse. Yeah. ఆ బ్రహ్మ లోకంలో కూడా జన్మ మృత్యు జరావ్యాధి 4 problems there. So 8.16 ఆ బ్రహ్మ భువనార్లోక పునరావర్తినోర్జున మాముపేత్యతు కౌంతేయ పునర్జన్మన విద్యతే. ఆ బ్రహ్మ భువనార్లోక పునరావర్తినోర్జున మాముపేత్యతు కౌంతేయ పునర్జన్మన విద్యతే. ఆ బ్రహ్మ భువనార్లోక పునరావర్తినోర్జున మాముపేత్యతు కౌంతేయ పునర్జన్మన విద్యతే. Translation. From the highest planet in the material world, down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Yes, thank you. 9. These are all. There are 7 verses in 9th chapter. Let us go to 9. 9.2. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam Susukham kartumavyayam. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam Susukham kartumavyayam. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam Susukham kartumavyayam.
Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam గంధర్వ్యం
సుఖం
సుస్థం కర్తుమవ్యయం.
అమ్మ అన్న ఉండాలి.
Yes, translation. This knowledge is the king of education,
This knowledge is the king of education,
the most secret of all secrets.
the most secret of all secrets.
It is the purest knowledge,
It is the purest knowledge,
and because it gives direct perception.
and
Our
because
actually
it gives direct perception,
is complete complete meaning is that, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization,
and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization,
it is the perfection of religion.
it is the perfection of religion.
It is everlasting,
It is everlasting,
and it is joyfully performed.
and it is joyfully performed.
That's where this is the eternal knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is eternal knowledge. Thank you. Yes. 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam
Maya tatam idam sarvam
jagat avyakta murtina
jagat avyakta murtina
mastani sarva bhutani
matstani sarva bhutani
nachaham teshu avastitaha.
ప్రభుజీ
చెప్పండి.
ప్రభుజీ అది తేషున తేష ప్రభుజీ
ఇక్కడ ప్రభుపాద చూస్తే చదవచ్చు కదా, తేషు అవస్థిత అన్నమాట. తేషు అవస్థిత బట్ మనం చదవచ్చు, తేషు అవస్థిత కూడా చదవచ్చు. ప్రభుపాద వర్డ్ బై వర్డ్ లో చూస్తే తేషు అవస్థిత అట్లా చదవచ్చు, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ,
టూ లైన్స్ మయా తతం ఇదం సర్వం జగత్ అవ్యక్త మూర్తినా
మయా తతం ఇదం సర్వం జగత్ అవ్యక్త మూర్తినా
మస్తాని సర్వభూతాని నచాహం తేషు అవస్థితః.
మత్స్థాని సర్వభూతాని నచహం తేషు అవస్థితః.
Complete verse. మయా తతం ఇదం సర్వం జగత్ అవ్యక్త మూర్తినా మస్తాని సర్వభూతాని నచాహం తేషు అవస్థితః.
మయా తతం ఇదం సర్వం జగత్ అవ్యక్త మూర్తినా మత్స్థాని సర్వభూతాని నచహం తేషు అవస్థితః.
By me in my unmanifested form,
by me in my unmanifested form,
this entire universe is pervaded.
This entire universe is pervaded.
All beings are in me.
All beings are in me.
But I am not in them.
But I am not in them.
Let us go to 9.14. Satatam kirtayanto mam.
Satatam kirtayanto mam.
Yatantascha dridhavrata.
Yatantascha dridhavrata.
Namasyantascha mam bhaktya.
Namasyantascha mam bhaktya.
Nityayukta upasate.
Nityayukta upasate.
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata.
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata.
Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Four lines. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavratah. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta
upasate.
Always chanting my glories.
Always chanting my glories.
Endeavoring with great determination.
Endeavoring with great determination.
Bowing down before me.
Bowing down before me.
These great souls.
These great souls.
Perpetually worship me with devotion.
Perpetually worship me with devotion.
9.15. 25. యాంతి
ప్రభుజీ మీకు
దేవా
టైం ఉంది కదా?
వ్రతాదే. నేను చేసేస్తా
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ.
ఆల్రెడీ ఫోన్ లో కనెక్ట్ అయి ఉన్నా, ఏం లేదు పెద్ద ఉన్నా.
ఓకే.
ఇది ఒకసారి చేద్దాం. విల్ ప్లాన్ మాతాజీ హౌ టేక్ ఇట్ ఫార్వర్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ టుమారో. లెట్ మీ డు
8:30 నుంచి ఇలాగా చేద్దాము, అప్పుడు టైం సరిపోతుంది.
అట్లా చేద్దాం. ఓకే. yes 9.25 యాంతి దేవా వ్రతా దేవాన్ పితృన్ యాంతి పితృన్ వ్రతా భూతాని యాంతి భూతేజ్యా యాంతి మద్యాజినోపి మాం యాంతి దేవా వ్రతా దేవాన్ పితృన్ యాంతి పితృన్ వ్రతా భూతాని యాంతి భూతేజ్యా యాంతి మద్యాజినోపి మాం four lines. యాంతి దేవా వ్రతా దేవాన్ పితృన్ యాంతి పితృన్ వ్రతా భూతాని యాంతి భూతేజ్యా యాంతి మద్యాజినోపి మాం
యాంతి దేవా వ్రతా దేవాన్ యాంతి పితృవ్రతా భూతాని యాంతి భూతేజ్యా యాంతి మద్యాజినోపి మాం.
So, thank you. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods.
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods.
Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors.
Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors.
Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings.
Those who worship
ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings.
And those who worship me will live with me.
And those who worship me will live with me.
Very good. Yes. 9.26 Patram pushpam phalam toyam
Patram pushpam phalam toyam
yo me bhaktya prayaschati
yo me bhaktya prayaschati
tadaham bhaktya prahrutam asnami prayatatmanah. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayaschati.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati.
Tadaham bhaktya upahrutam asnami prayatatmanah.
Tadaham bhaktya upahritam asnami prayatatmanah.
All four lines. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayaschati tadaham bhaktya upahrutam asnami prayatatmanah.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya upahritam asnami prayatatmanah.
If one offers me with love and devotion,
if one offers me with love and devotion,
a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water. Four things in first line only. Patram, pushpam, phalam and toyam. A leaf, a flower, a fruit or water.
A leaf, a flower, a fruit or water.
I will accept it.
I will accept it.
With love and devotion. So Krishna doesn't look for our opulences or big just simple. Anybody can do this. Even poor person also can offer. Yes. 9.27 Yat karosi yadasnasi yajjuosi dadasiyat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam yat karosi yadasnasi yajjuhosi dadasiyat
yat karosi yadasnasi yajjuhosi dadasiyat
yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam
Yat tapasvi kauteya
Purvadarpanam.
Four lines. Yat karosi yadasnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam.
Yat karosi yat asnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat,
Whatever you do,
whatever
whatever
you
you
eat,
eat,
whatever you offer or give away,
whatever you
whatever you
offer,
offer or give away,
and whatever austerities you perform,
and
whatever
whatever
austerities you
austerities you
perform,
perform,
do that.
do that.
that
O son of Kunti, as an
O son
offering.
of Kunti, as offering to. Sorry,
O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
Thank you. 9.29. So seven verses is the last one. 9th chapter. 9.29. Samoham sarva bhuteshu
Samoham
Sarvabhuteshu
sarvabhuteshu
name dveshyosti na priya
name
name
desyosti na priya.
priya
ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya
ये
ye
भजन्ति तु
bhajanti
मां भक्त्या
mayi te teshu chapyaham
मयि ते
Maya
तेषु चाप्यहम्
samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priya
Samoham
sarvabhuteshu
सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः
प्रियः
ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham.
ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि तेषु चाप्यहम्
Forward lines. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya
मयि ते
mayite
तेषु चाप्यहम्
I envy no one,
I envy no
I
one,
envy no one,
nor am I partial to anyone.
nor am I partial to everyone.
Anyone. I am equal to all,
I am equal to
I'm
all,
equal to all,
but whoever renders service unto me
but
but
whoever
whoever renders service unto me
in devotion is a friend is in me,
in devotion is a
devotion is
friend
a
is
friend
in
is a
me,
friend
and I am also a friend to him.
and I'm
and I am
also a
also
friend
a
to
friend
him.
to him.
Last two verses, 10th chapter, 8th verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
matta sarvam pravartate
मत्ता सर्वं प्रवर्तते
iti matva bhajante mam
iti matva
मत्वा भजन्ते मां
budha bhava samanvitaha.
buddha bhava samanvitaha.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate
Aham
Aham
sarvasya
sarvasya
prabhavo
prabho
matta sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajante mam budha bhava samanvitaha.
matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha.
Four lines. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam budha bhava samanvitaha.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds.
Everything emanates from me.
Everything emanates from me.
The wise who perfectly know this
The wise who perfectly know this
engage in my devotional service
engage in my devotional service
and worship me with all their hearts.
and worship me with all their hearts.
Nice. Yeah. 10.10 Tesham satata yuktanam
Tesham
भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं
भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं
ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं
ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं
येन माम् उपयान्ति ते
येन माम्
उपयान्ति ते
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं
तेषां
सततयुक्तानां
भजतां
भजतां
प्रीतिपूर्वकं
ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते
ददामि
बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते
तेषां
सततयुक्तानां
भजतां
भजतां
प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love,
who are constantly devoted to serving me with love,
I give the understanding
I give the understanding
by which they can come to me.
by which they can come to me.
Well, Prabhupada Krishna says directly three things: constant devotion, service, and love. Constant devotion, service, and love. Three things. Everything will be revealed. Krishna himself gives all the knowledge, all the purports of Vedic knowledge. Beautiful prayer. These two verses from Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita, 10.8, 10.9, 10.10, and 10.11. So yeah, thank you so much, Mataji's and Prabhuji's, for reciting together. Let us all meet tomorrow. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Reading ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Nitai Gaura Hari Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Have a happy Krishna conscious Tuesday. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.